If you have a layer farm or you are looking into having a layer farm, and then if at any point you are going to be raising your birds from day old to the point where they mature and you'll be caging them, then this video is for you. Alright, so I visited a farm, one of the farms that I consult for recently, and I just wanted to point out some of the things that I found wrong on the farm, and hopefully this would help you to be able to do things right. Of course, that's what I do. Once again, DIY Agric, your number one animal scientist and your poultry success partner. So let's go right into the video and let me show you some of the things that I found inappropriate, and then I'll show you a case study to compare and show you exactly how it should be. So first, when you enter into the pen, one thing you will notice is that the birds are moving towards the left side and the right side. So it's more like they are deserting the center of the house. They are not evenly spread across the house, and that is not right. One thing that might cause that is difference in temperature, but that is even a temporal thing. It could change, the weather can change, so that things can get back into shape within few hours. Let's say that is not so much to worry about, even though it matters, but then let's say that's not so much to worry about. One other thing I found that is so inappropriate here is the spacing, the space that the birds have access to, and coupled with that is the limited number of feeders and drinkers, especially feeders here. You see, at day old, even layers are expected to eat 24/7. They are expected to eat 24 hours a day. If I thought you're going to be giving them any break, which should not happen in the first few days, it should be just about 1 hour to 2 hours daily. So in this case, not all of them would have access to feed. So let me just quickly show you a case study and let's see what I'm showing you. So let's use this situation to compare with what we had on that farm. These were ammo pullets that I raised alongside a colleague some years back. I decided to use this case study because here we used the charcoal pots. So one might say that using gas, the experience may be a little different, so I didn't want that to come into play. All right, so this is a situation where we also use charcoal, and you can see how evenly spread the birds are. They can decide to all eat almost at the same time, and that's what you want to be able to achieve. So the number of feeders must be proportionate to the flock, the total flock size that you have. In this case, we had about 11,200, and this big partition that you can see, we actually have 4 of the partitions, so you can only see one clearly. So this one is just one of the 4 partitions, and I tell you, this is actually bigger than the 2 partitions in the case of the farm I visited. And I forgot to tell you, those were actually 4,000 pullets, 4,000 day olds managing that space. Of course, the person managing them would be able to save on it. They were using charcoal. The person will be able to save on charcoal. You'll be able to save, to conserve it. But the primary objective is to ensure that the birds grow at the same rate, so that there will be no bigger ones and smaller ones. There will be no runs at the end. That's what you want to achieve when you are raising your layers from day old. These are some of the errors that people fall into, and it deters them from wanting to do it again. They just turn to going to buy point of lay. But once you can get a hang of the process here, then you're a pro. And I tell you, this is not the first time I'll be seeing this. In a case study that I also pointed to in the egg production masterclass, in case you have not taken that course, it's called egg production masterclass. It's where I teach you how to perfect egg production from start to finish, whether you want to buy point of lay, point of cage, or you decide to raise your birds from day old yourself. I teach you everything. It's a video course, so it's more interactive, and it's more like a one-on-one session where you can actually have a picture of me facing you. I'm talking to you face to face, and I'm educating you on how to raise your pullets from day old to maturity, and how to also ensure that you get about 96% production, egg production. Right, so if you have interest in that, I'll be leaving the link in the description and you can just take that. It's going to be awesome for you, trust me. A lot of people have taken it and the comments are not stopping to come in. Okay, so let's just fire on from here. I talked about a case study where something like this also happened. The spacing was so wrong, the feeder and drinker number so inappropriate, and there's no way your birds will be able to maximize their potential. There's no way they will be able to grow. So one of the major recommendations that I have on this farm is just extend the brooding space, let the birds have more space, and then give them more feeder. I tell you that the current number of feeder in the two partitions were 2020, and we have 4,000 birds. That's more like 100 birds to one feeder, and that's so inappropriate. It's so inadequate. You can't picture 100 birds eating from the same feeder. I'll show you what it looks like using the other case study. I'll show you what it looks like the number of birds that you can count eating around the feeder. So that's one major thing I needed to address. And another mistake, I don't know where people get the idea that using black material, whether black nylon or black leather or what we call trampoline, is preferred. Especially when people are raising broilers, they say broilers need warmth, they need heat, and people decide to use black leather. No, it is wrong. I'll shed more light on that. You see, where black would help is when there is sun, because of what we call black body radiation. Black is able to absorb heat from the sun and pass it into the house, into that chicken house. And I tell you, your birds don't need that heat in the afternoon. Everywhere is already hot, especially when you're in the tropics like we are in Nigeria. The weather is so hot in the afternoon that when the sun is out, you even want to open the place up a little to allow some fresh air to come in and the hot air to go out. So I don't see any usefulness of black. And where black would have been useful would be in the night, where the birds actually need heat supplementation. If you are raising broilers, for example, or even these layers, when they are still small, you need to supplement the heat. You need to give them some heat in the night. But where would black work in that situation? There's no sun for black to collect in. So black is useless. Another evil that black will do on your farm is that it makes the day length to be shorter. What am I saying? By evening, when the sun is out and before it's moon time, as the weather is becoming dark, the inside of the pen becomes dark faster than it should be because of the black you are using to cover the house. And on the flip side, in the morning when everywhere is bright, it takes longer for the inside of the pen to receive that light. That means you are going to be using more lighting. In the house, you are going to have to put on your generator or put on your solar earlier, and you are going to have to turn it off later in the morning. So I truly don't see where black works better. Trust me, it's better you use white. White will reflect heat from the sun during the day because you don't actually need much heat during the day. It's already sufficient, even more than sufficient during the day. As a matter of fact, sometimes you have to lift up a side curtain just to allow the hot air to escape from a part of the house to be able to regulate. And in case you're not using a thermal hygrometer in your breeding house, you're not doing things right yet. You need to get a thermal hygrometer that would help you to say, of course, this is exactly what the temperature is. Okay, so I'll just be wrapping it up here. I believe you have been able to learn one or two things, and if you think you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are yet to subscribe to the channel, click that subscribe button, and then if you don't want to miss any video like this, click that notification bell so you get notified when I have new videos up for you. All right, thank you, and once again, this is DIY Agric, your #1 animal scientist and your poultry success partner. See you in the next one. Bye bye.